your jacket, Barbara. I couldn't see that before, but now you've filled my screen. It is awesome.
There's a special reason for wearing it.
Okay, what's the special reason?
To the Knitting Public event. And Wendy might remember it.
Do you remember?
You wouldn't have probably noticed me except for this jacket, because it was the first time I met you all.
Yes,
a couple of you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do.
Well, that was actually going to be my first question, which was, how did you first hear about GOG?
I first heard about it through an email from Westfield Belconnen, because I've been going along to the Knitting Public events for a number of years, and last year was the first time I'd noticed one saying there's something local in Belconnen. I first started off going to the Handmade Market one, and then I've gone to the Trove Knitting Public events, and then I decided, because it was a horrible day, if you remember last year, I thought, oh, I'll drop by Belconnen Mall and just check out what was going on there, and the tables were set up, and Wendy was playing with some really interesting squares. And asked me how to finish off one that hadn't been finished, and you had some weird and wonderful things on display, and I think the good thing was you had the sign-up forms, so it actually gave a way to move forward. It wasn't like the other events where you just turned up, you had a nice time, you might have chatted to a few people, but then you went home.
Right.
So that's how I've heard about it, was you can thank Westfield Belconnen.
Oh, that's wonderful. That was obviously one of the reasons why we decided to hold it there, because we were hoping that they really came on board very quickly about supporting us and putting advertisements on their webpage, putting advertisements out on they even contacted the local media, and we were on radio that year, I think, as being one of the
I think I might have
to do with Canberra, on the weekend, So, and they contacted the Canberra Times. So we were really lucky that they came on board the way they did. So yeah, awesome. It worked. Okay, so moving on to the next question was, what made you join? Why did you feel that you'd like to join GOG?
As some of you I think know, I probably started knitting when I was about 4, so I've always made things, and I have a large stash of materials. And I've often done community art projects, and I've done other charity things like little teddies for Westfield Children's Hospitals, and beanies for the university students who are handing them out in Canberra, the Queanbeyan yarn bombing project. So I've always done that sort of thing. And like I've said to a number of people, the hardest thing for most crafters is, what do you do with all your crafting? There's this huge pent up interest and generosity out there in the making community, but it's making that connection, and GOG gave me the chance to have an outlet. So my friends and family are really happy, because it saves them from some of my creations.
Okay, I guess my next question is, what keeps you coming back?
An unexpected thing for me, because I'm naturally an introvert, was the warmth and friendship of the group. It's a very open and friendly group of people where you can find and be yourself. There's no pressure to go beyond what you want to do or what you want to be in the group, but you can find your own place. People are very willing to share their skills, share their materials, and that's what keeps me coming back. It's that sense of community and connection. That's just a vital element of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I think once we did form as a group as such, for me, it was the GOG community rather than the GOG knitting circle or the GOG group or volunteer group. It was more the GOG community or the GOG family, and I felt that was really important for us as as a group, that we build a community around the people who make the goodies. So yeah, for me it felt like we were a community group, and that was really important. So that's awesome that you felt that way. What new skill, or what have you learned, or how has GOG expanded your kind of horizon maybe?
I guess the big thing for me out of GOG was, and this is I guess one of the things I like about it as well, it's challenged me to make outside the square. And I guess the GOGsters are really the symbol of that. Unlike so many other charity projects where if you're knitting lamb jumpers, you're knitting lamb jumpers. And there's not much you can do with that because they've got a specific purpose. And I can remember talking with, I think it was Marnie at one point, we talked about a different group that had such strict requirements about what you made that sort of took away the element of fun about it. You became a production line, whereas I think what this group does, it lets you find what you're best at, and play with it, and even go into things you don't think you're good at, and play with that as well. And you'll get people who'll help you and teach you along the way and say, oh, what about this, or bringing in different ideas. So knitting outside the patterns, because I love patterns and history. I mean, people know I collect those, but to actually just play, to create Mary the GOGster, or to create Vincent, or I think that my favourite was the Zeb. And I've said to a couple of people, if I never create anything else in this group, creating Zeb was the highlight for me because of the story involved in it. And there's that magic moment when something comes together and you go, that works. It does what you want it to do.
Yeah, that was an amazing project. And some of the members, the newer members may not know that, but I might at the end of the video, when I share this video, just link a photo of that and the family and their gratitude. It was just amazing. The job that you did was incredible, but the story behind it, as you said, how much it meant to not just the patient but the whole family, what you did, was awesome. So yeah, fabulous. The last thing, the last question I had, which was what's your favorite thing to do and why? You probably answered that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess GOGsters are the easy bit, but I still like my knitting in public, what I call my bus trip projects. So making beanies or making cows, the things where it's a very simple thing that I can just knit, like go into auto roll. So it's good sometimes not to have to be creative. I cannot watch TV or old movies, and I watch a lot of old movies and not be making something. So whether it's GOG stuff or whether it's the other sort of crafting I do, because I still do other crafting, but it's all of those things combined into one in terms of favorite things. Just the creation, that magic moment, as I said.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I've done a few GOGsters and goodie dolls and things like that, where you do need to focus on, and we put pressure on ourselves to do those kinds of special projects, but there's nothing like just sitting in front of the telly doing a few granny squares late at night when you're just trying to wind down. You don't have to look at your project, you don't have to think, you just grab the next next ball and do that. So, or continue with the granny square blanket. So yeah, I agree. They're all, everything we do is special in some way to us, and of course will be special in some way to someone else. So I think that that just the making process as well as the creative process is really important to us. That de-stressing, downtime, relaxation, that sort of almost meditation that you get when you're working along, and you don't even realize how much you've done in that time, and time just flies by, and but at the end of it you kind of just chilled out. So yeah, awesome.
But I do like it. Yeah, I do like it when you guys set me challenges, whether it's giving me a weird bag of wool or making things like the GOG badges. I'm like, oh, I want to have a badge.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And, we know that we've got lots of creative members in this group, and it's everyone brings something different. And that's what I love about it. When I put a challenge out there, there's so many people who put their hand up and say, I'll try that, I'll do that. So yeah, and you're all obviously definitely one of those people. So thank you, and thank you for being our special guest star today.